Toastmaster, fellow members and guests. Have you ever felt like your life was running you instead of you running your life? If you've never felt that way, maybe you can relate more to this scenario. So you get up around 5 or 6 every morning, you make breakfast, then you get in your car really quick and take a 45 to maybe an hour commute into work, spend most of your day at work, and then you take the commute home, which is again another hour or so, and then you get home and you make dinner, and then if you're lucky, you have some time to squeeze in a workout or spend some time with your family and friends, but then before you know it, it's time to go to bed and you have to start it all over again, and it's just like a record going on and on and on. I can relate to this scenario. This was my life for the past 2.5 years, and I felt like I was on autopilot and that I was an observer of my life and not participating in my life. So I started to get very upset about that. But let me tell you a little bit about what I was doing and why I was at that point. I was a clinical dietitian at a local community hospital in Aurora, Naperville area, and my job there was to improve the nutritional status of ill patients, which is something that I care very deeply about. However, if anyone's ever worked in a hospital, you know that it's a very fast-paced environment and you have to do a lot in one day. So I was expected to see about 8 to 12 patients every day, which meant that every minute of my time had to be planned out accordingly in order to see all these people. And if I wanted to spend more time with somebody, I really couldn't because I was not going to get home on time. And then the next day I would have another 8 to 12 patients to see. So that was not good health care to me. And that's something I care very deeply about. So now that I'm able to reflect on what my life was like, I was rushing to get to work, I was rushing at work, and then I was rushing to get home and fit in everything that I couldn't do throughout the day. So obviously this was making me very upset. I felt like everything was out of whack, and I was scared that in the next 10 or 20 years I was going to wake up and not change anything and wonder how I got there and what I was doing with my life. So I decided to make a huge change and quit my job this past December. It was a big change for me because if anybody knows me well enough, I'm very much by the book. I went to a good college, got my degree, got a good internship after college, got a job while I was in my internship, and then started working immediately after my internship. So now that I think about it, I didn't have time to reflect on what I wanted out of life, where I was going. Was this job going to be fulfilling? So a big mistake on my part. So besides feeling very uncomfortable with the way my life was going, there were 3 reasons why I wanted to quit my job. The first reason was to rediscover who I was. One of my biggest fears in life is that I will be defined by my career. I want to be something other than just my career, although my career is very important to me. Before I started working, I had many hobbies. I would read a lot, I would draw, paint, I even would write some poetry, here and there, not much. But I had many interests. And as soon as I started working, well actually it started in college, my interest just started going down, 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 down. It was all just career, work. What are you going to be doing next? So I'm hoping now that I can achieve a balance in my life where I'm able to start getting back some of those hobbies that I once had and maybe start some new hobbies because obviously I may have changed over the past few years. So that means a lot to me. The second reason is to spend more time with my friends and family. My friends and family are everything to me in my life. And when I started working, I noticed that I began spending a lot less time with my family and friends, and even some of my relationships with my close friends started to deteriorate, and that just really frustrated me. And I've always really liked this quote. It's from the book Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. Happiness is only real if it's shared. So that's something that means a lot to me, and I want to nurture those relationships in my life. So again, with the balance that I'm searching for, I hope I can do that. The third reason, it's a very important reason to me, is to recreate my career. I don't want to stop working. I want to add value to this world. I love being a dietitian. I love helping people. I'm very passionate about health and wellness, and so I want to do it in any way that I can. And the way I see fit now is to be my own boss and create my own business. So that's what I'm working on now with the help of my husband RJ, who's also trying to do the same thing. We're working on this together, and hopefully I can achieve this dream of mine within the next year or so. So now, after hearing about one of the biggest decisions of my life and hearing about why I made that decision, you got to know a little bit more about me. Mr. Toastmaster?